Oh, hello, it's Ashley here. Starting a game of Rogue Legacy. Let's just give it a moment to see if anybody's actually here and can hear me, because otherwise that would be really sad. So I'm just going to jump around. It's going to tell me how to play the game. Looks like we got someone here. Let's see who we have. So I'm not playing totally to an empty room. So I have played this game before, but I am playing it new on this account so that I can get all of the trophies again, and that way I'm not having to play on a Game Plus or Plus Plus like on my other account. And the point of this game is to try to defeat all of the monsters in the castle. Oh, it's you, Joe. Well. Aren't you supposed to be playing your game? Anyway, so the point of this game is to progress through the castle while dying as, a few times as possible to get one of the achievements, but dying helps you progress through the game so that you can get better armor and better weapons and all that kind of stuff and stat bonuses. And the only way that you can get those stat bonuses is after your character dies. So you go through the castle, which is kind of randomly generated after a few different castle patterns, and you earn money, and you take that money and you spend it outside of the castle. And once you go back into the castle, you'll see that you can actually lose some of your money, so it's best to try to spend as much as you can. So since it looks like we have a decent sized room for our channel, I'm going to go ahead and start playing the game. So I am... Alright, I will do that, Kimber, once I can figure that out, because I'm sometimes not the best at these things. Let's see. Okay, pause. Try this. Right. Turn that down too. So hopefully we'll still be able to hear things. Alright, is that better, Kimber? Hey, Leah. I turned it down in the game, so hopefully you can hear me better now. If not, let me know and I'll fix it before I start the level. Alright, thanks, Kimber. You always have a back, girl. Alright, so like I was saying before, if you're just coming here, this is Rogue Legacy. The point of the game is you're kind of going through this family tree of all these different warriors, and the point of the game is to try to defeat all of the monsters with as few lives as possible, but you can just infinitely keep playing until you beat the monsters, and you can get a Game Plus or Game Plus Plus. So you can destroy things, and it gives you hints about how to play, because that's how all modern games are, even though stylistically this looks like an old platformer. And again, I have played this game before, even though I was totally ignoring that whole jump thing. I'm used to having a lot of different abilities on my character, so I'm gonna have to get used to not having all of those abilities, because again, I'm starting over, so it's more fun for everybody. On my other account, I'm at plus plus on my game, so yeah, we're just collecting coins. And you get magical abilities as well. Right now we probably don't have anything because this is the tutorial level. We want to try to get as much gold as we can, so hopefully we can buy an attribute update or something. This is one of the annoying things in the game where you have to attack these little platforms to be able to jump on them. Later on, you can get abilities that negate having to use them all the time. and I'm not particularly adept at using them, as you can see right now. So I almost didn't hit them. But there's lots of things that you can destroy. And one of my cats is joining me. You can probably hear her. But why do I want to attack the king? Okay, I have to do what the game says to progress the plot. Alright, so we're going to start our legacy. And so here is our person. This is like a little training dummy that you can hit that really I don't think serves too much of a purpose. There might be an achievement that goes with it, but I honestly don't remember. This takes us to the manor where we can unlock abilities. And right now we don't have any gold, so we can't unlock anything. But eventually we will be able to unlock this smithy. That's who we'll get our weapons from. And so right now we're just going to go into the castle. And again, the castles auto-populate with the floor plan, I guess, for lack of a better word. Oh, I didn't notice that either, Joe. I'll have to pay attention next time. So this golden door is where, like, the final boss is, and so we see that the final boss is represented kind of like a goat head devilish figure, and then he is surrounded by 4 figures. There are 4 floors to this castle, or 4 sections, really. We're gonna look here. Journal entry 1. Treason! An assassin has wounded my father, the king. So I guess we were that assassin. To bring order back to the kingdom, he has sent my siblings and I on a quest to save him. Together we will venture into the cursed woods and enter Castle Hampson. Castle Hampson is where we're at, and I guess we are the king's children, rather. I misinterpreted that. Wouldn't be the first time I misinterpret something. This cursed castle has stood on the edge of the woods since the time immemorial. Apparently I can't read either, which is ironic considering my day job is a teacher. But rumors say that within it dwells an item which will cure any ailment. Tonight I will get a head start over my brothers and sisters and set forth on my quest while they lay asleep. To fail this quest would be an embarrassment to my name. And that's the only entry. Okay, skip through this again. You can go through the castle and collect more journal entries. And it tells you what the enemies are called. And so we can either choose to go up or go down. Apparently I'm choosing the path of least resistance as I just fell down the castle. Which is cool. And I don't have like a whole lot of life, so I'm going to go to the next room. Again, I want to try to stay alive as long as possible to get more coins. And my magical weapon is not that great. I have these little throwing knives. And there's all sorts of little creatures in the castle. I need to find some, like a leg of chicken. There we go. Yeah, it's like typical Castlevania where there's like meat that will help cure you. And see how that painting is moving? He is a bad guy. And see, I just died. Sir Lee has been slain by a Sherite. And then at the bottom it will let you know how many enemies you have killed. Like literally each enemy you kill is populated in the bottom. And then we see our Sir Knight has a little last parting words. You should practice fighting bosses using the Architect. Sir Lee's parting words. Good advice. Alright, so then we click yes that we want to keep playing, and then we have 3 options for our heirs. So like this is our first person, Johannes the legendary knight, and it says like from what years they lived. And then Sir Lee is who we just played, and we get to choose his descendant to go in the castle. So we have Lady Stark, who is a knight. and they each have traits that can either be helpful in the castle or detrimental. So she is a knight, so our standard hero, pretty good at everything. So a good class to play that'll have a decent amount of life. Chickens freak you out, so once we run into a chicken, it'll show you what that will do. And then hypergonadism, your permaroided attacks knock enemies further. So when enemies attack me, they're going to be thrown back versus throwing me back. And I don't really like her spell, so let's see what our other options are. We have the Lady Littner, who is a barbarian. She is gay, and she has gigantism. So again, barbarians, like it says on the little flavor text, there's a walking tank. The hero can take a beating, so she's going to have a lot of hit points. She likes the ladies. They just kind of randomly have these little traits on there, so that doesn't really affect like what she can do, I don't think. But her gigantism means that she's huge, and so again, she's going to be a massive sprite on the screen. I do like her axes because that's a really good spell for when you're below and you can hit people above you. Let's see who our last person is, but I'm thinking I'm going to go with Littner because she is big and I like that spell. Yeah, definitely, Kimber. The mage, a powerful spellcaster. Every kill gives you mana. Okay, that's pretty decent, but mages don't have a lot of hit points, so if your goal is to try to get as much money as possible, that's going to be a lot harder because a mage will die quicker. They're also dyslexic, so they're going to have trouble reading things, and so sometimes when you read text in the game, it will not read properly as if you were a dyslexic person, as much as they could represent that on screen. And then she also has coprolalia, which means if she gets hit, she's going to cuss a lot, but of course it'll be bleeped out. And I don't really like this spell either. It has a lot of orbs that hit everywhere. It's not super accurate, so we're going to go with Lady Littner, because again, I like to play the barbarians. They usually last a long time, and sometimes I just pick people by which spell they have. So yes. And now we have enough money to unlock the smithy, so we're definitely going to do that, and this unlocks the castle for us. The blacksmith can build the finest equipment in the world, turning you into a veritably virtuous, violent villain vaporizer. That is a lot of alliteration. Gathering blueprints will give him an even wider array of assorted armaments for your armory. Again, lots of alliteration there. I'm really liking this. I've never really paid attention to all the flavor text in this before. And so this will give us the path to be able to do some different things in the game, and I can unlock one of these things. I can either up my health or my mana, and I always choose health over mana because I want to try to last as long in the game as I can. And so that's going to leave us with no money left, which is actually really good. So we're going to exit to the manor, and we can come talk to him. Welcome, hero. Maybe you can help me. I used to be the greatest blacksmith in all the lands, but one day the monsters of this castle attacked my smithy and stole all my blueprints. Oh no! Without those blueprints, I can only make cutlery and stuff. Please bring back any blueprints you find and I can build the most amazing equipment ever. Ever. And at a price, of course. Of course, you gotta pay money. And so right now, this is the basic stuff. See, we found a sword blueprint, and it's going to cost us $250 to unlock it. With each one that you choose, it costs more to unlock. I think that's how the weapons work. It's been a while since I've played this. And then see, the helmet's $150, and don't have any armor. We've got some boots, and no capes. Oh, and who is this mysterious figure blocking the castle? Let's talk to him. One must pay the toll. Sharon. Give Sharon all your money to enter the castle. And so we don't have any money to give him, so this is actually the deal that we want to make, obviously. We want to have as few pieces of gold as possible when making these deals with him. He's laughing anyway, which I think is kind of funny. I think they should have an achievement for being able to get to the castle with no money to give him, but you know, they didn't ask me. We see that my character is now level 2. For every life that you are, the level will go up. It's just basically a way to track how many times you've played the game. And there is an achievement for, I think, beating the game in under a certain number of lives. I think it's 50. And again, each time you play the castle, it populates to a different floor plan. I'm not exactly sure how many floor plans there are in the game, but there is a variety. You see, this is the bad part about being the giant, because I'm not good at this part. So yeah, I'm definitely not going back that way. And I hope I can find some life sticks, because yeah, there are disadvantages to being this giant. So I did find some, but probably not enough. Hopefully I can find some more chickens, because I need the chickens. The only way is up. So, ooh, I ran out of mana. Yeah, so you're really fragile in the beginning of the game because you don't have a lot of hit points. So you die a whole lot unless you kind of know what's going on. And see, I just died. I think we did kill some more enemies this time. Lady Littner has been slain by a corrupt knight. Mastering mobility runes makes you awesome. So runes are something else that we can find in the game that will help us power up and be able to last longer in the game. And so you have to continue that every time. Let's see who we got this time. We got Lady Sonia and Knave. A risky hero, low stats, but can land devastating critical strikes. Trait Endomorph. You're so heavy, enemies can't knock you back. Okay. I think I might have conflated that with a trait from earlier. Yeah, we're going to be dying a lot in this game, guys, because we do not have a lot of XP, or sorry, HP. Chicken spear you, so they have that trait. And then I'm not really good at using this quantum translocator spell, so I probably won't choose this class. Then we have another barbarian. Again, they're afraid of chickens, and they're so heavy, enemies can't knock you back. Yeah, this game is a lot of fun, especially when you get more skilled. I could basically, in my last game, kind of like walk through like the entire castle and not die and literally kill everything and get thousands and thousands of gold. But then it gets kind of boring after a while, so then you want to go beat the boss, and I think you can get up to like a +4 game on this. And we got another barbarian. It's too dark. Oh, so this is a person that's not going to be able to see too well. So let's see. So we got two different barbarians. One's a big giant one who's afraid of chickens. They have a scythe. The other one has the little blade. I think I'm going to go with the one that has the cool blade, because if we can survive long enough, this weapon might come in handy. And hopefully you can also see the chicken spear come to light. Alright, so we have turn your knights into paladins, a ferocious forefront fighter. We can afford to do that. We can get more health. I'm gonna go with the health upgrade because that will spend all my money and I won't have to owe the demon thing at the beginning. And yeah, he doesn't have anything to say and we can't afford anything. So yeah, you want to try to break everything to get coins. And try not to get hit. So I can either go up, down, or towards the right. So I think I'm going to keep going towards the right. Why not? going. Okay. Didn't kill it. And ran out of magic, of course. Alright, we found some money there. Alright. I think I'm gonna go up a level. Ooh, so this is the trait in action. And we earned a trophy for killing the chicken. So when you have a chicken fear trait, all it does is make the chickens run. There's another one, and you kill it to eat it. That's the only thing that one does. Ooh, cool. What did we find? We found a blueprint for night bracers. Alright, I think we'll go to the right. Chicken. And magic. And so this is a teleporter. We only know 2 locations, so I could either go back to the beginning of the castle or stay here. I'm going to stay here because there's no point in going back to the beginning. There's nothing really super treacherous that we need to skip. But we are not going to keep going up, and I'll tell you why. Since nothing can hurt me here, I'll stay here for now. But this part of the game is very dangerous when you're at lower levels. This is what they call the Maya, as you just saw on the screen. So this is kind of like the attic of the Castle Hansen, and the enemies are a lot more dangerous here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back down. This is one of the other areas. I said there were 4 earlier. There's also a forest area. I just knocked the chicken out of frame. And there is also a basement underground cellar area. So we've come to a secret location. We can change the music here. Basically, can kind of cycle through all of the different music for some of the different parts of the castle. I'm gonna stick with mincemeat just because I don't want to stay there too long. Now we're gonna go this way. And so here we are at one of the boss doors. Now, I do not have enough power to probably fight this enemy. I think if I go in there, it will keep me at my current XP level. But if you want me to go in there so you can see what the boss looks like, I don't mind sacrificing this character's life to do that. So, I know there's a few of you in the chat, so shall I go try to fight the enemy, or do you guys want me to wait? Because we'll find it again. I mean, it's really easy to find things later. It's just, I'm literally at over half my life is gone, and I have barely any magic, and I don't think it resets in the boss room for this fight, because it's a basic castle fight. So should I stay in the castle, or should I go fight the enemy? What do you guys think? I am beholden to you. Alright, we got 1 vote for kill him. Alright, so it's 50-50. I'm gonna go ahead and wait because, again, I would rather try to be at full health to fight it. And I can find him another way, so it won't be in the exact same position, but it is. I've played this game so many times, it's easy to find things. Hey, Sam! So I'm at a bigger advantage versus people that have never played this game before. Except for the fact that I'm trying to play the game as if I have all my other attributes, and I don't. Like, you can get a thing that lets you double jump, and I don't have that yet. Whew, almost died. But again, the point of this game is dying, so Alright, we're not going to stay in there because I will die. That is the forest area. Another dangerous area. I want to say that it's basically you go up to the attic first, then you can fight in the forest, then you can fight down below. But all those monsters are scarier in those parts. Let's see what's below this floor. Another chicken. I hate these guys. And so see how this painting is kind of wiggling? That's how you know he's an enemy. I'm gonna go ahead and go down a floor to see what we find. A secret area. Let's see. I'm guessing for this one, if you can see where my sword is, how the panel is a little lighter. If my character were miniaturized, which is a character trait that you can get, I would be able to get that treasure. And that is a special treasure that's going to have probably either a plan in it or a rune. So we're going to go back up this way. Map. I'm gonna go below. Nothing much, Sam. How are you doing? And I died. I should have just hit that thing, I probably could have lived. So we definitely did better on this playthrough than we did in our last life. Sir Lee II has been slain by a Doomvoss. Exploring and finding chests is the best way to earn gold. Alright. So let's see who we have this round. What happens at 5 p.m.? Is it just that you get off of work, Sam? This is a knight, Sir Judson. His trait is Vertigo. Welcome to Barfsville. And he has the throwing axe. The only thing I don't like about this character is because he has, I think it's because he has the vertigo. He's upside down and it's really hard to play the character that way. Then we have Lady Leona, our barbarian. She is stereo blind, so she can't see in 3D. So that's going to affect the way the pixels work on screen. Everything is going to literally turn and it looks really weird. She has the daggers. The daggers are okay. And then we have Sir Hornsby the Knight, who is a savant with tunnel vision. Very talented with a few issues, so don't remember exactly what that does. And then no peripheral vision, so I think it kind of fades out the screen to where you can't see far ahead. You've been sick and making terrible life choices, Sam. Well, that's no fun. The tunnel vision is not as bad as trying to see things not in 3D, so we're gonna go with Sir Hornsby. And we have a little bit more money to play with this time. We are going to, let's see, we're gonna get this knight upgrade. Promote your knights into paladins. Through rigorous training, paladins have learned how to block blows from any direction. And let's see. I think I'm going to try to get some weapons upgrades, and we did get a blueprint. It'll tell us. We got this. Knight's limbs. Alright, so it seems that the blueprints are based on how powerful they are. So we're going to buy a couple of weapon upgrades. We're going to get the Squire Sword. Let's see what else. We're going to get the Squire Helm. We'll probably get the Squire Limbs. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna see if there's anything else I can get from the manor, because again, I'm trying to spend all of my money. Hello, Tiblet. Alright, I think I'm going to go with the mana up. Yes, I see you, Tiblet. You're not playing the game. And that will leave us with 10 gold, which the demon will take from us. Hush. So, yeah, I've had to give him a lot more gold before, so nothing big. Yes, I see you. So now we have a more powerful sword and we have some armor, so hopefully that will help us stay alive even longer. We have to be careful of the spikes and of the gun. That room wasn't too terrible. I don't know, my weapon changed. I hate when that happens. I think that's why. Probably trait related to him. Think of it. Alright, I'm gonna go up. Oh, no, I should stay up there and try to beat them because you get like a good prize from this area. Even though they're scary. And I died. Well, that was a quick life, y'all. If I had beat them, I would have gotten a cool prize. So here we have an upside down paladin. We have a barbarian who has scythes, who doesn't have any special traits, so no drawbacks or pluses. And then a paladin, Lady Joanne, who has OCD. They must break stuff to restore magic points. And they have the scythe. So I'm gonna go with this one that has the OCD because I don't mind breaking things. It's fun. Let's see. I don't really need to worry about that just yet, I don't think. Yeah, it's always sad when our characters die, but that's the name of this game, literally. Oh, just 10 gold shy of getting some more mana. Darn. But I could go ahead and get the equip up, or see if there's anything here I can buy. I don't think I can buy anything. So I think it's all too expensive. Alright, well, I'd rather spend money than not, because again, there is no point in trying to save any money, because we don't have a special ability to do that. And look, that unlocks some different paths for us, so cool. We'll check those out next. I think you can get something later on where he'll take less money from you. So yeah, literally every time I break something, I will get a magic point increase, so that's good. Yeah, bad thing about the sides is they're not easiest to aim with. Demonstrated by my poor throwing skill there. Let's keep going up. Defeat all the enemies. So this is a special condition. Yeah. And of course I ran out of magic points, so I probably will not be able to get that one. Let's see if I can try to do that. Okay, well, let me keep trying, so I'm going to try to go get some more magic points. Talk to this guy. Greetings, adventurer. I am here to give you a chance of a lifetime. Because we're going to trust a shady person randomly in this castle. For the measly sum of 25% of your current gold, I will give you a chance to open one of 3 chests. One chest will triple what you paid, but the other 2 are empty. Yeah, why not, right? So, which chest did I choose? Left, right, or middle? I just realized that this person's armor does not match at all. Which is weird because it's from the same set. Maybe it doesn't match the standard armor. So we're going left, we're going middle, we're going right. What shall I choose? Alright, we got one for right, we got one for middle. Sam, you have an opinion? Of course, you're super helpful, Sam. I'll go middle. You were lucky this time. Oh, thank you, Kimber. See, Kimber had my back. Of course, I didn't win a whole lot of money, but still. I always want to win those little games. Alright, let's see. I'm going to go to the left. Or sorry, right. And again, I can't get that chest because it is in the thing. I don't think I have enough magic points to use my spell yet. No, I don't, so I'm going to try to earn some more stuff. Not worth it to get that coin. If I can survive long enough to get back to that fairy chest. Sometimes those fairy chests are not winnable situations, so... Go down. The bad thing about the little ice tower. Ooh. Knight sword. At least we got one cool thing. Can't kill that thing. Goes up. Up and at them. And it died. Lady Joanne has been slayed by a Sharite. Sky runes let you fly by pressing X while in the air. So we definitely want to find a sky rune, because that's how I'm used to playing this game. Alright, ever forward, people. Let's see what we got this time. We got a knave, Sir Mark. He is very flexible, apparently. And he has a chakram, which is a pretty decent spell. Not my favorite, but it's pretty accurate. Then we have Lady Gwendolyn, the paladin, with gigantism and vertigo, and she's giant, so that makes it even harder to play the character. And then we have Lady Stark, the paladin, who has hypergonadism, permaroided, so she can hit hard, and OCD, so she also has the same trait that gives her magic points. So I think I'm going to pick them based on which spell they have. And so even though the knave is kind of a risky class, as it says, I'm going to pick that because we haven't seen one of those yet. Let's see what we unlocked. We can get the Enchantress. That's how we can get the magical runes. Or the Architect, which lets us lock the castle down. Hey, I just read the text, Sam. the magical runes. The enchantress can empower your body with magical runes, making you better, stronger, faster, jumpier. You know, not quite the same text as the $6 million man, but who are we to judge? Find runes to increase her repertoire of body modifying talents. Her crystal ball is just for show. And we also have enough money to unlock the architect. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The architect can lock a castle down and prevent it from changing. Like the layout of a castle, lock it down. Just make sure you can afford his fees. So basically, when you do that, there is a cost to it. But it is cool, especially if you want to go back and find cool treasures like we just did with the little fairy thing. But we're not going to lock the castle down this time. And I know I can't afford to do any of these upgrades, but I just wanted to see what was available. Apparently my trigger is, or my analog stick, whatever these are called. The name escapes me, it was acting weird. Okay, the Knight Sword. I think that's it. Alright. Let's go talk to a rune lady. Hello, hero. Could I borrow your ear for a moment? I'm in need of your help. I used to be a very powerful enchantress, but one day the monsters of this castle invaded my dreams and stole my knowledge. They encased that knowledge in runes, and without those runes, I suck at my job. Please, hero, if you find any runes, bring them back to me, and then I'll sell it back to you at a profit. Well, at least she's honest. And so we already have some runes that we can get. So each item in your inventory can have a rune attached to it. So here we have the sprint rune, gain the power to dash short distances. Multiple runes stack, allowing for multiple dashes. So all of the runes are basically in the same layout. And so the more that you can put on them, the more powerful that ability can be. But I like to mix and match runes to try to get a lot of abilities. The Vault rune grants you the power to jump in the air. Excuse me. Multiple rune attacks allow for multiple... rune stacks. Apparently I could not read. But we cannot afford any runes right now. Let me see if we can afford any upgrades out in the castle. I don't think we can, but it's good to try. This one has like this weird black mist that follows him. I forgot why that happens. Oh, I'm gonna like so die in this room. Go somewhere else. Go back up. Of course. Sir Mark has been slain by a Frostin. Better to use mana to kill enemies than to take unnecessary damage. Well, thank you, Sir Mark. Alright, Lady Hiroko, the Paladin. She's bald. And she has IBS. Even the most valiant heroes can suffer from irritable bowels. So yeah, that does come into play in the game. Lady Doobie, a barbarian. You've got 2 left hands, you can't cast spells properly, so this means that the person will cast a spell in the wrong direction, which is really annoying. And then Lady Block, the mage. A powerful spellcaster, every kill gives you mana. Heavy enemies can't knock you down. Throws a giant axe in an arc. Who apparently also has a beard, but whatever. Alright, so shall we play Lady Hiroko, who has IBS? Lady Doobie, who cannot cast her spell in the right direction? Or Lady Block, who is so heavy that you cannot knock her down and has a cool axe. So, Block, Doobie, or Hiroko? Who shall we be? Alright, so we got 1 vote for the bearded lady. Any other votes? Alright, we're gonna go with the bearded lady if no one else has an opinion, which is cool. Alright, we don't got a lot of money, so I don't think we can afford anything. We shall see. We do not. Let's see if we can afford anything in the room area. I don't remember how much things cost. No, of course not. Just short. I don't think we can afford anything here either, but you know, might as well check. No, we cannot. Alright, so we're going to lose our 160 gold to Sharon, which is annoying. Again, I've lost more. Oh, really? I already died. I'm terrible at this game. Harder areas offer greater rewards. Well, that was a short life of our bearded lady. Let's see who we have now. We have our barbarian who likes to curse, who also has ADHD, so they move quick. They have a blade wall, which I'm not a fan of. This is not a really great weapon. We have Sir Lee III, our paladin, who has tunnel vision. So they don't see too well. Very talented with few issues. And then Sir Hornsby II, who is a paladin. Ooh, he is the one. We're gonna play this guy. You'll see why in a moment. So there is no spork. Permaroided attacks knock enemies back. And the fire dagger's not too bad of a trait, and we have no money to buy anything with, so we're just gonna go on into the castle. Jacking in. So this is what happens when your character is the one. It looks as matrixy as it can in the frame. Please, sir, I want to live. I don't want to be a statue. Star Trek reference for any Star Trek fans out there. So yeah, this is the Matrix Castle. It's just really the frame, but just thought it'd be fun to show off that. Castle seems to have a ton of enemies. I hate those paintings. Who knows? Maybe we'll find the boss. Or a mini boss or something. Ooh, cool. Alright, there must be a secret in this room. But it might be hard to access that secret if we're in the one. Trying to see if there's something I'm missing. Of course. Jump around like a moron and die in the spikes! Alright, let's see who we have this millionth time. We have a paladin, Lady Doobie. You can't tell people apart. I forgot how that affects the game. And she's bald. And she has a scythe, which I like that weapon. We have a mage, a powerful spellcaster. They are gay, so they are a fan of the man, Sir Onday, or Ondak? I think that's a C at the end. He also has a scythe. And then Lady Joanne II, a barbarian who is blind and has random muscle spasms. So random muscle spasms, they affect the controller vibration, and that's kind of annoying. Let's see, we have not played a character that can't tell the people apart. I don't know how that, I don't remember how that affects the game. And then we have, I don't think, have we played a mage? Let's play a mage. Let's see what we can buy. Magic damage or attacks. We're going to definitely increase our health so we can live longer. And then if we can afford something else, we will buy it. Which we probably can't. Can't remember. Nope. We can talk to this guy though. Greetings, boy. Wanna know a cool fact? I'm crazy! This lever here, with a simple pull, I can prevent the castle from changing. This way you can go through exactly what your ancestors went through. Impressed? You should be. How did I build this fantastic contraption? With science, of course. And magic. Mostly magic. But my skills aren't free. If I lock this castle, I will take 40% of all the gold you earn. Do you want me to lock the castle and only get 60 gold? No, I do not want that right now. I am fine with the castles being random. I haven't found anything cool enough to warrant locking the castle last time. Plus that first room was difficult, so easy so far. Which just means that there's probably like a million enemies in another room. My aim was better. Alright, let's see what's below. No jumping, great. So now I have to try to find the chest without jumping. So see those. Yeah, and now I can't get the fairy chest because I could not meet the objective. That's annoying, but whatever. Alright, let's go up. This is the boss room. And of course I died. Alright, so we have Sir Hershey the Barbarian, OCD, and Endomorph. Sir Kotaki the Knave. You remember things with extreme clarity, but you have Alzheimer's, so you have trouble remembering who you are. That's an interesting pair of traits. So you have eidetic memory. Okay, I don't know how that plays into the castle, nor do I know how the Alzheimer's plays into the castle. I think they just get confused a lot. I think maybe random enemies show up on screen. And then we have Lady Lena, the paladin, who's bald and beautiful. Alright, I'm thinking between the two paladins, so who would you rather me play? Sir Hershey, who has OCD and is an endomorph, so we'll be able to get our magic back quickly? Or Lady Lena, who is just bald and doesn't really have any special traits? So bald and beautiful with no magical special traits, or Sir Hershey, our endomorph OCD barbarian. No, I don't think we're back to hypergonads. It would say that, Sam. Yeah, I don't want to play the knave. Because we'll probably die really quickly if we play that character. We will die less quickly playing the paladins. So, Lady Paladin or Man Paladin? Who shall we be? See, it gives us different little texts about our past characters while we're waiting to see who we're going to play. Sir Andak, the Useless Mage. Sir Gallant, the Paladin. Or the Gallant Paladin. The Feeble Mage. Feeble Knave. Alright, I'm just gonna pick someone for us. We're going to be this barbarian because he can get magic back. Let's see if we can spend some money. That was exactly $310, so, or gold, or whatever we're calling this, so I'm just gonna use that. Because I really like not giving Sharon any money. Alright, we're gonna go up. Maybe this time we'll find a secret room and not die in it. That would be cool, so you can see what that looks like. Let's see if there's any other enemies to kill. Alright, let's go up. Ooh, secret area. Woohoo, we killed something finally! So we get a special chest, a blood sword, ooh, and we got a trophy, yay, trophies are fun. Now, let's go this way. There. Teleporter. And nope, we're not going up into the Maya, we will die immediately. And we're not going that way because that is in the Maya as well. Which way we haven't gone yet. We will keep going right. See where that leads us. Alright, I see those two rooms are connected, so we're gonna go below. Later, Sam. Thank you for stopping by while you could. Sorry I didn't get your joke. Oh great, take no damage to get the fairy chest. Just gonna test my skill of using this. Nope, I already died. Not even gonna risk it because there's no point going over there. I probably would have missed that if it were going the other way as well. Going to go this way since I don't have a lot of life yet. Oh. Ooh, there's a secret in that room. I can see it right there. A balance rune. Awesome! a Squire chest plate. Hopefully I can afford to get all this armor. Oh, almost didn't die. The Hershey has been slain by a Grey Knight. Purchasing equipment is cheaper and more flexible than raising your base stats. Alright, this time we can choose from Lady Brisa the Knave, who has peripheral arterial disease, so no foot pulse. So that's actually good, because that means we can step on spikes that are already existing and not get hurt by them. Or, maybe not that so much, but I think if we go step on something that can spike up, it won't hurt us. I think that's actually what it does. And again, I don't like her spell, but... we got our paladin, who has the one, and is far-sighted, so anything close up is blurry. That's really annoying. And then a barbarian with no traits. So we're going to go with the knave, because that is a cool feature that she has. Alright, looking at my sword options. Body armor. I think I definitely want to get some body armor. We don't have any. No capes yet. Let me see what runes she has, because that would be cool to get some runes. Balance rune, slaying enemies grants both HP and MP. I'm going to get that one. You can only put on one rune at a time, depending on what kind of armor it is, so I can only have one helmet rune. And that makes all the other runes more expensive, so that kind of just keeps going up exponentially. Every time you buy a rune, doesn't matter what part of the game it's in, they all increase in price. I thought it might have been per item, but it's actually per rune, so that's frustrating, but it makes sense, because otherwise you'd be able to get everything super quick. I know I can't afford any armor upgrades, so I'm going to go see if I can buy something in the manor before I have to give up all my money in the castle. Nope, nope. Close, but no. Nope. Alrighty, so we're gonna lose 185 gold, but whatever. A floor plan that seems pretty good, I'll actually lock it down to show you guys what that looks like. So we must get this smoke trail from the class we are, not necessarily the race. Try to use their magic ability too. See what's up this way. This way. I hate these things that have magical powers. It's annoying. Why to drop down? I want to go up. Ugh. So the rune I put on the helmet will help make the game a little easier because every time we kill an enemy, we will get just like a little hit point back. No clue what my magical power does. Although I think it drained me of some of my actual health points, which is not good. So I'm not going to use that anymore. Guess I could have used a teleporter, oh well. Oh, why did I do that? I knew I was gonna die. Alright, so we got barbarian, and a knave. Let's see what their traits are. Baldness and ADHD. They have a blade wall. I don't like that spell. Dementia, you are insane. Oh, thanks. I think this might be the one where you see things that aren't there. And then a knave with gigantism. And you conduct electricity really well. Well, that sounds scary. I'm going to pick the one that's insane. I'm gonna go buy another rune. And I don't think there's anything that costs 150, so I'm going to go into the castle. And you know what? I think I'm going to lock this castle down. I will get less gold, but it had a decent layout and we haven't done that yet, so why not? And so we can see the path that we took before. I know where the room is, where the creatures are. So I can try to go fight that monster and try to get a special prize. And that's really the purpose of locking down these castles. Yeah, you do get less money. But if you're really hunting for something and really want something, you can lock it down. So that you can find it more easily. And with our spell and with how many hit points we have, we should be able to hopefully defeat this. Maybe not. Oh, almost. So close! So close. Alright, so we have a knave, Sir Charles, who likes to cuss and can't tell people apart. He does have a better spell, though. A knave who is big and heavy and has that spell that almost killed me. And then a paladin who that can't see in 3D and is very flexible. We're gonna go with this paladin so that you can kind of see what that looks like. And we don't have enough money, whatever. I'm not gonna lock the castle down this time. I'm cool trying to find another mini boss later. So as you see, the way he turns and all the enemies turn, that's what they mean when they say he can't see in 3D. It is a little annoying for me to play the game with a character like this, but I wanted to be able to show you guys what it looks like. Something about the way it turns, it just looks weird to me and it throws off my vision, so... Go down the floor. Level. Go down another level. Full of treasure. I always get excited when I find treasures. Let's see which way we haven't gone. We're going to go to this room and then up. And then right. Too many things. Darn! Almost level treasure. Alright, a barbarian with a different spell, and a knave. So let's see what these people have to offer. Alright, our knave is colorblind, so they see basically in black and white and monochromatic, so like a Game Boy game. Baldness, and you can't tell people apart. Again, I don't remember what that does. And then our barbarian who sees things nostalgically. You know, the good old days. We're gonna play our nostalgic barbarian. We're going to buy something off the castle so that we can spend some money. Alright. So the nostalgic point of view makes it to where it's the sepia tone kind of filter. And we are reminiscing, so basically like the first level of the game, the tutorial level. filter's okay. It's not my preferred way to play the game, but I do like it better than some of the other ways that your vision can be impaired in this game, for lack of a better term. Because there's also the one that we read about where it's monochromatic. That one bothers me. This is a random teleporter. Ooh, a statue. Will you pray for assistance? Yes. Oh, cool, we got glasses! So this corrects our vision problem. How convenient. So you can pray to these statues and it'll give you different abilities. Like, sometimes they actually are detrimental to the game. But in this case, this is really helpful because it is a little hard to see in that sepia filter. But, like, the worst one for me definitely has to be 3D or where you can't see in 3D. There's another one, too. It's bad. The monochromatic one's not good, but there's some other ones where it's hard to see things, it makes it blurry, which is also when we get an opportunity so you can see what it looks like. Ooh, fairy chest! We found, ooh, a blood cape, that sounds fun. And with an area in here. Powerful enemy, that's interesting, up in the castle Hanson. Go up here. And there is treasure. Of course the spell is not working, and of course it died. Alright, we got mage, ooh, barbarian, and the paladin. So our paladin is perma-roided and insane, so it's a good combination. They do have a spell that I'm not a fan of. Our barbarian has OCD and the foot pulse thing, so that's actually pretty good. And then our mage has the hypergonadism and a cognitive, was it? I can't even see what that says. Like, I need my glasses. But they know no pain, and they have flame barrier. So we're gonna choose this person because this is my favorite spell in the game. Is the flame barrier. I think it's probably one of the more useful spells to help your character. And let's see what we can buy. We're going to. Let's see what of course it would be $500 to unlock this blood cape. 1% vampirism. And I think I have all the runes I can get. Alright, to the castle. Yes, I have played Shovel Knight, and that one's really fun as well. Some of the controls are hard to use, like he gets special powers as well, and the way that you have to not unlock the special power but use them was kind of hard for me. I've also played the Shovel Knight companion games. There's one for Plague Knight, and there's another one, and I think the controls handle on those a lot more. It's a lot easier to use the special weapons, but Shovel Knight is really fun. But I get really frustrated playing Shovel Knight, so I have to be careful, because I tend to want to scream at the screen. Because unlike this game, like dying, you know, not so cool in Shovel Knight. But this one, since it's, you know, the point is to die, I don't get as frustrated dying and don't want to scream profanities. Where did my icon go? Since we don't really have an issue, I'll go ahead and do the carrying capacity thing just in case, because I do want that blood cave. Oh, I hate when you can't tell like what your MP is, not MP, your HP. Alrighty. This is why I love this weapon, or this spell, because you can easily turn it off and on, and it has a really good range for killing the enemies, so I think it's really helpful. I hate these guys, they're so annoying. Ooh. Journal entry 2. Although I am the eldest child, I am not my father's favorite. I have always known he planned to leave me with nothing. But if I find the cure, everything will change. The victor will earn nothing less than the throne upon his passing. Upon my ascension, my wife and my children shall move back into the royal quarters, back to the royal city, where we once again will be treated with the respect we deserve. No longer will we stand for the gossip and petty slander of my cousins. The other dukes shall bow as we pass, but I am getting ahead of myself. I must keep my priorities clear. Conquer the castle, find the cure, collect my reward. That's very cryptic. But that's good. That gets us closer to the achievement of reading all of the journal entries. Ooh, defeat all the enemies. Hopefully this one will not be too challenging. It seems like there's a lot in here. And of course I died. I think I'm going to lock this castle down so I can get back into that room. Let's see, barbarians, ADHD, and permaroided. Mage, I don't like. Ooh, they break a lot of stuff, that is fun, but I hate that spell. And when they have dwarfism, you never get to ride roller coasters. Alright, we're going to play this barbarian who has glaucoma, so that we can see how that affects the eyesight. And so you see everything is kind of dark. Joe, you're suggesting we should play Shovel Knight as like our next playthrough or something? Kind of rinse out the taste of that last game we played. What was it? Depression? No, it's not really what it's called. The camera game, like literally those names that left my brain. Life is Strange, that's what it's called. I'm so terrible with the titles of things. That's why I always make up a cutesier title for everything. Because I can remember the cutesy title I made up for everything versus the actual title. Of course, I forgot that I think Joe has me on mute because he's at a game. Kimber, can you ask him if that's what we should play next? Is the Shovel Knight? It's like a several part series. Or not. To me trying to get up this thing. Really? Okay, I'm not gonna try that again. Or play in there. Of course again. I hate having this visibility, or sorry, trait. Makes it so hard to see what's going on, and of course I just died. They get through quite a bit of enemies at times. Mage, Knave, Paladin. Lady Shinoa, Endomorph and Eidetic Memory. Lady Ferris has IBS. And then our Paladin. I'm gonna go with the no foot pulse one. Not only because they're a Paladin, but because I do want to show off that trait. I'm gonna lock the castle down, even though it means we won't get a lot of money. Because I do want to try to go get that treasure that I forgot about because I'm smart. Alright, we're gonna go this way. So see, I can walk across these and it's no big deal now. If I can survive to get to where I need to go, of course. See if I missed anything. Just the same journal entry. try one or more of these paintings. Sweet. Let's see what we got. We found a grace rune on the chest plate. Cool. And now that we've found that, we probably don't need to lock in the castle again. I feel that if we can survive a whole floor of Castle Handsome, then we might be able to go up into the attic and start playing in that level. But considering that we haven't been able to achieve that yet, oh, we're definitely not going there or there because that is the scary place. We can go back up this way and use the teleporter. And so when we look here now, we will see that we have 2 journal entries. There are 25 entries in total, if I recall correctly. Oh, of course. Alright, who we have this time? We have a paladin who has dwarfism. And they have a scythe. That's a pretty decent weapon. We have Lady Stephanie the mage who has glaucoma. So I definitely don't want to play that because it's hard for me to play that character because it's hard to see. Which is the point of the trait. And then we have our Sir Skunky. What a beautiful name. What's up, Corey? Who has the cussing one and ADHD. So we're going to play a dwarf because we have not played a dwarf yet. And I like the class and I like the spell that they have. It's a pretty good combo. Let's see if we can afford to get anything so that the monster does not get all of our monies. So can't afford that. And let's go see what rune we got, since we got a new rune. No, but it's hard for me to play that character because you can't see anything in the game, so, you know, they're a perfectly good character, but I want to be able to try not to die in the castle for more than 10 minutes. And of course I can't afford the rune. Enemies scale slower, easier but lesser rewards, multiple runes, stack enemy scaling more. Okay, I don't think I've ever used that rune, but cool. I don't think I can afford any armor, but let's see if we can. Nope, we cannot. Nope. And nope. Alright, see, I know we can afford some stuff in the manor. And I accidentally spent money on attack up, whatever, it's fine. I'm not going to block the castle down. I want a new castle. So we can see our character is very small. And this is the whole point of having the character, is they can go through these little crawl spaces. So I can totally avoid all of the damage of that. Now, not every place has a crawl space, obviously. But hopefully there'll be some more opportunities to be able to use my small stature in this level. Nothing over this way. Let's see what's up here. I think we'll just go down a level. Nice one, Kimber. We found a knight helm, so another helmet. I hate when there's like a million enemies in one space. It makes me nervous. Especially all these little eyeball enemies, they're so annoying. And there's even bigger ones later in the game, and they're so creepy. These little starfish dudes. There's these magic guys. I just hate all these enemies. The worst. Alright, let's see which way I want to go. I will go up a level. Let's see what's up here. Defeat all enemies. This is great. Of course. Apparently I woke up all the paintings. And there's still enemies in here. Let's see if I can find some chicken or something to eat. If I can survive. There's still some enemies. Of course I'm out of spells, and all the enemies are defeated. Woohoo! And we found a curse rune. Cool. Alright, let's go up. Moving on up, moving on up. And going back down, because that rune was pointless. Let's see what is this way. Should be cool. Of course. You've been slain by Plonky. Well, Plonky, I am not your friend. Ooh, we got a mage, a paladin, and another mage. This mage has no traits. This paladin has conductive, or can conduct electricity well, and is colorblind. I know, I was so sad. I like the little fellas. They're so cute. This one can also conduct electricity really well. I'm going to go ahead and play the colorblind character so that we can see what that looks like in the game, because we have not played that trait yet. And I think I can afford some things here, so let's see what they got. Yeah, we can afford the knight's helm. He was so small. We can afford the bracers. And I know we can't afford that cape. Let's see what runes we got. Alright, so our new rune is the curse rune. Harder enemies, but greater rewards. So definitely don't want to do that, considering we can barely clear the castle with the enemies that we have. So I don't see any point in buying that rune. Let's see what this one was. The vault rune, power to jump. We don't have enough money for that yet either. So we're going to hold off on that. I think we're going to get some armor increase, because that would probably be the most beneficial. That'll make our health go up 5 and our mana go up 15. Magic go up 6. We can't afford that. Let's look at our swords. Damage up 4. And we can't afford that one. So we're going to go with the helmet, because I think that'll be the best for what we have. And then I don't think there's anything in the house that we can afford, but we'll check just in case, because why not? Nope. And we're not going to lock the castle down because I don't want to. And so this is what the colorblind trait does. Obviously we saw that in the beginning part of the game, where it just makes everything literally grayscale. This is not as bad as the sepia one, in my opinion. I think this is a little clearer to see. But if we happen to find some glasses like we did in the last one, that would be really funny. The only thing it does make it more challenging is all the other sprites don't stand out, so it is a little harder to see the enemies. See one of those bigger eyeball guys up there. I think if we were able to see him in full color, he would probably be a pink eyeball. Yeah, we're just trying to collect as much gold as we can to try to power up our character. It will let you play on to, I think in my, oh darn, in my other game, I'm at like almost like 500 playthroughs of the castle. But you do kind of get, I think you get a trophy if you can beat the game in under 50 playthroughs. But I know I won't be able to do that. Alright, so we got our mage, who can't see in 3D. Our paladin, who has the vertigo and IBS, and then our paladin. I'm gonna go ahead and play the upside down paladin because we haven't seen this one yet either, and so y'all can see how kind of annoying it is to play this character. So as we see, the world is upside down, and already I'm getting ill playing, but whatever, it's for you guys. And they jump and fart because they have IBS. It's a real classy game. I'm gonna go ahead and buy the vampire cape because I need a cape. And I think that's probably, I don't think I can afford anything else. I went the wrong way. No, I don't think I can afford anything else. So yeah, this will be a short playthrough because I'm not going to be able to do very well playing upside down. It is really throwing off my perception. I guess I could turn around to my house and try to play it, but that would be like too much work. Creepy. So cool, and you can see this weapon as well. scary night. And of course I just lost all of my magic. Fred. Go to a different room. Alright, ooh, we earned a trophy probably from playing that class. But yeah, that was not the best. Alright, we have a gigantic paladin who can also knock the enemies back, and they have that spell that we just had in the last playthrough. We got Lady D, who has the foot pulse thing, which actually is really helpful. And then we have Sir Kotaki, who is gay. And he has the same thing as this one. So just looking at their traits. I'm gonna go with Lady D because she has that arterial disease where the spikes won't hurt her as bad. And I think that'll help us the best. And there's a ton of stuff that we haven't even found in this castle yet or been successful. We're kind of getting to the point where we probably will be able to get a little further, hopefully. Unless I'm just like totally terrible at playing this game, which, you know, could be. Yeah, I really like the music in this game too. It does get a little repetitive, but again, the game is repetitive. But yeah, we may be at the point soon where we can take on the boss if we can find it. But again, I kind of judge that based on, can we even get through the whole castle floor without dying? Which we've yet to do. Oh yeah, I have the foot pulse thing, so I don't have to worry about that. Anyone else in here watch Iron Fist that's in the chat? I just finished watching that today. That's something we could talk about. Trying to catch up on all the Marvel shows because I'm always like way behind on everything. Defenders comes out next month. You watched it on all of it on the first day, Corey. What did you think of it? And Kimber, do you care about spoilers for Iron Fist? Since you haven't seen it, because you heard it was so bad. As I like to respect my friends. Yeah, I want to hear Corey's thoughts before I get into my opinion. Alright, so Corey's saying that it wasn't horrible, but it was the worst of the Netflix series, and Joe's just saying that it's the worst of the Marvel Netflix, but still okay. I'm in the same opinion where it's definitely... It didn't even feel like it was in the same universe as Daredevil, Jessica Jones, or Luke Cage. Our friend Brian had mentioned to us when it came out that it felt like it was like a TNT show, and I can see that sentiment because it didn't feel like a Netflix show, except for maybe like the occasional like nude scene or like almost F-bomb drop, and I know they said the S-word a lot too. Oh, I almost made it. Stupid fairy chest. Anyway. But yeah, it was pretty weird tonally. Like, it felt like they were telling the wrong story for Iron Fist. Like, I would have rather seen more of his, like, just straight up origin, because I'm not familiar with the character, than whatever kind of weird, convoluted mystery they were going for. Did not like the casting of the actor. Ben Jones did not feel like a martial artist to me. I studied martial arts, and I know Kimber has too. It felt wrong. Like, there could have been any, like, generic stunt thing going on. It didn't look like Kung Fu to me. When I see more realistic martial arts in, like, Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, there's a problem. No, let's get the fairy chest. And like the villain characters in that show, like I got really creepy vibes from them. Like not in like the good villainous creepy way, just like are you sure you wrote these characters to be brother and sister, because they're not coming across that way, the way they're behaving? Ooh, I defeated all the enemies. We got a bounty rune for our sword. I think that means we can get more money, so we'll definitely be applying that one soon. Yeah, the training was messed up, but like that one of the defenders was all up in the skyscrapers and boardrooms and stuff. Calling Wing is hot, Kimber. Okay, I see what you're saying, Corey. Yeah, I guess it's cool that like each of the defenders is gonna come from like a different like walk of life. Because like Finn Jones is kind of like the rich, kind of almost like Bruce Wayne kind of figure, to make the analogy like easy for like if anybody's not seen the show to understand, because you know he does come from money and he has a tragic background. Ooh, what is this guy doing in the castle? And of course that died. And then Jessica Jones with her like tragic background and kind of, you know, she doesn't come from like a wealthy place, like she definitely has to like work for her money. And then Matt seeming to have like kind of been in that sphere, but he's definitely like a working, you know, class fellow as well. And then with like Luke Cage's background, and they're coming from different parts of the city, I think that'll be fun. But I'm looking forward to Defenders. I liked the trailer. Even if it did use a cliched remixed song, whatever. Yeah, Jessica's my favorite too. I liked Jessica Jones best, and then the first season of Daredevil, the first season of Luke Cage, then second season of Daredevil, and then like way at the bottom Like there's like a lot of extra space on the notebook paper. Iron Fist. Alright, so we have a mage who's permaroided. Alright, we got a barbarian. I don't like that sword spell, but they are far-sighted, so we haven't seen that trait. And then the permaroided one. So I'm gonna go with this barbarian that's far-sighted so we can see what that looks like in the game. And we're gonna go buy a rune. We are going to buy this rune that gives us more money. And so we see that our rune is equipped, whichever one has a little L next to it. I'm gonna go double check to see if there's anything we can afford in the manor. Alright, we can afford that, so we're gonna go with that. So we can see that I am blurry, but everything else in the periphery is clear. So that kind of makes it a challenge. Was Cottonmouth the one that was Mahershala Ali? Yeah, I liked him a lot too. I felt he was definitely the stronger of the snake-named villains in Luke Cage. Diamondback felt very cartoony to me in his actions and in like the way his character like was armored up, for lack of a better term. And again, I think Joe has the game on mute because he's somewhere else, so if we're saying the same thing, it's totally a coincidence. He's not copying me. Ooh, we got the jukebox. We can change the song. We'll play Pistol Shrimp. Aw, if we were little, we could go in here. Oh, great. If I had that. Oh. No point in trying to go get that. I'm not cool enough to know what acronym y'all are talking about. Ooh, journal entry number 3, y'all. I have paid my dues and entered the castle proper. That devil Charon has taken all that I own as payment. He has even pilfered my private coffers. I have left my wife and children with nothing. Oh, such a bad father. He says it's a price for any and all who hazard the depths of the castle. He says it is fair. It is fair because of all who have entered, none have returned, but I will change that. I will be victorious. There is no greater swordsman than I, even amongst my siblings. Again, I still don't know what SOA is. S of something. S of A. I'll try to properly use that spell in a second. Oh, Sons of Anarchy, okay. Oh, there was like a huge controversy with that group when they came to our town because of a con situation. Not in their fault, but it was like the people that ran the convention didn't pay people properly, so like the Sons of Anarchy people didn't show up because, you know, you should pay people that you promise that you're going to pay. But then, like, another con in our town invited them back and honored everybody who had paid for at the other con with proof, I guess, of like your photo op. They honored it. So that was cool. Oop, not going to the Maya. We can barely survive the castle. But yeah, Joe probably remembers that con, but again, he's not listening, he's just typing with y'all. And I don't have my computer to type a message, so... But if one of y'all want to ask him about it, he would probably say something. Dead end room. So it kind of blocks that person, but it could also hurt them, that spell. Oh, I was so close to the treasure! Nope. Alright, let's see who we have this time. The character with an eidetic memory who is a barbarian. A mage who can conduct electricity well, and they're a dwarf. And a mage who has dextrocardia, so your AP and MP and HP pools are swapped. So that means that they will actually have more HP than a normal mage, but we're thinking we should go with the little dwarf mage or Lady Jenny, who has her HP and MP swapped. What do you guys think? Who shall we choose? Little mage or regular mage? Baby mage? Big mage? Okay, Leah's saying dwarf mage. Anyone else second the dwarf mage? Alright, Corey seconds it. That's 2/3 of the vote. Alright, see what kind of weapon upgrades we can get. we're gonna go with the Knight Sword because I think that's a little better. Yeah, because the other one will make me lose attributes. And we'll get some bracers. And I don't think we can afford any runes. And we don't want any of those runes anyway, because those are not good. And let's see if I can afford anything over here. I don't think I can, but it's worth a shot. Ooh, the podcast that has me in it. The one that has just me? Awesome. Is it hard editing just audio? Because with video, you have to make sure that, like, sometimes you have to cut, like, different, like, visual things because it looks dumb, or I usually just hide it with pictures. But I can't imagine editing audio. That seems like it would be really difficult. Because I'm so used to editing video. And it just died. What the heck? I'm like the worst at this game. I'm sorry guys, our little dwarf fellow died. Because he was a mage. Mages don't have any hit points. Sad times. Even my cat is upset with me. Alright, we can go with a nostalgic barbarian. Clumsy mage, and that one has glaucoma, so no. So we're gonna go barbarian because maybe they will actually survive enough to play the game. And hopefully we find some glasses to fix our nostalgia goggles. I mean, sometimes it's just good to rewatch movies that you like, because at least you know you'll like it. Okay, I will say the advantage to this nostalgia filter over just the basic monochrome one is a little easier to see the enemies in background. There's a little more distinction there. That's good to know, Corey. Yeah, we just had to get one of our laptops replaced. I was hoping that the native camera on that would be better than the one we have on our actual laptop, but it's only like slightly better. So we still have to use our external webcam for it to actually look decent. Oh great, taking damage. And I ran out of things. Nope. Alright, no point in trying to get that fairy chest because we failed the objective. Let's go this way. Is the colored version just a different version of the same like movie? Is it like colorized, or is it like a total remake? Yeah, there was like a big push, and I guess like maybe it started in the 80s where like there were colorized films that had been in black and white, but a lot of times they looked really bad. I remember them specifically being on like TNT, like Ted Turner's colorized classics, and it was like very much a thing that people were not a fan of. But it also depends on like what you do and like who would do the coloring. So, you know, if it's done well, then I don't have a problem with that. I mean, they make movies that are in color black and white now, and ooh, we got a mage. Yeah, so Corey, you remember the Ted Turner's colorized classics? I think a lot of black and white films look really good, and those are really easy to like restore as well, because you don't have to worry about the color balance as much. There's a really hilarious like special feature on The Big Lebowski, which is totally like satire and tongue-in-cheek about how they had to restore the film, and like it, like all these crazy things that they had to do to restore it. Had to do as in quotes, by the way, you know, sarcastic quotes. They had to find like an Italian print of the film and restore it. It's really hilarious. Alright, so we got a barbarian with no traits and a scythe. A paladin. He doesn't have that foot pulse thing, but he does have those little ball bearings that I don't like. And a mage who is bald, but she has a little flame. I'm going to choose this one because I like this weapon. Ooh, I will upgrade the mage if I can afford to do that. Transform your melee mage into archmages. Master all the arcane arts and change whatever spells you have on the fly. Ooh, cool. And then I'm pretty sure we can't afford to do anything else. Nope. Really, nightmares. I would like to note that Lady Stark has a beard, which is cool. Like it when movies are in black and white, like if they take a risk to do that nowadays and not like as a after the fact gimmick like with Logan or Fury Road, which I think those are both fine in black and white, but it's definitely like a hey, we can make some more money if we re-release the movie. I can survive. Nope, I can't. Oh, don't even get me started on changing Shakespeare to modern language. It is so annoying. They do that in the 2013 Romeo and Juliet, and it is horrible. I could go on like a 3-hour rant about how much I do not like that movie. It's sad when the Baz Luhrmann one, which is set in modern times, is more accurate to the play than the 2013 one, which is supposed to be set in medieval times. Oh yeah. If I could have turned off that movie, I would have, but I had to watch it to make sure it didn't get worse, because in the 1968 Romeo and Juliet, there's that scene where they've had their wedding night, and we have to skip that part in class, so I had to make sure the 2013 one didn't have a similar scene to fast forward. Oh yeah, I actually really like the Baz Luhrmann one. There's a lot of people that don't like it, but I love that one. And for some reason, it being set in that modern setting, but them playing, you know, or saying things in the Elizabethan English, it makes kids understand it better. And I'm all about making kids understand Shakespeare. Something about it makes their brain perceive it differently, I guess. Although that one's becoming a little dated to them because, like, the whole courier thing. Alright, we got some barbarian and an archmage, which is we upgraded the mages, and an upside down archmage. Yeah, I like the Mercutio in the Romeo and Juliet from Baz Luhrmann. He was really fun. Alright, so both these characters that I would actually want to play cannot see in 3D. But I think I'm going to go with the Barbarian because A, their hit points are better and it's not the one, and so, because sometimes it is hard to play in the Matrixy looking world. And that's totally fine, Corey. Not everybody has to like every Shakespeare play. I've been teaching Romeo and Juliet for nearly like 10 years now, so like it's pretty important to me. Also, I like it because it is kind of fun to make fun of how dumb Romeo is. And I like making fun of things, and I like making my students laugh at my lame jokes, so I've much preferred teaching 12th Night, but we don't teach that one anymore because Romeo and Juliet is kind of like the essential 9th grade play because it's about characters that are around the same age as our students. Alright, Joe will be home soon. Maybe I can add him to our chat. The Lion King is pretty much the story of Hamlet, so I mean, I don't think it's an intentional adaptation because it also steals from Kimba the White Lion, which is an anime. But considering that Kimba the White Lion is basically also Hamlet, sure, it's Hamlet, it counts. And the second Lion King movie is Romeo and Juliet because there's like the whole factions and stuff. I don't think that counted as a mini boss, I don't know. Yeah, because isn't Sons of Anarchy basically just like Hamlet? So I'm definitely on the quest to try to find the boss to see if we can beat them. Maybe not with this character necessarily, but a character. So I might start locking the castle down. I don't know, that Romeo and Juliet soundtrack was pretty sweet. Those things. Ooh, treasure. But did it have a sound like a Beastie Boys song? Because this Romeo and Juliet soundtrack has a sound like Beastie Boys song. See what this way. No jumping. Well, I will fail. I think you have to have a dragon to beat that. Went this way. Which way shall we go? We'll go in the jumping room and fail. Ooh, fail. And of course, I have no magic. Irony. And I died. I am being made fun of in my own household. What else is new? Alright, we got a paladin. We got an archmage. And another paladin. Alright, this paladin has the savant trait and the one where you can't tell people apart. This one has this muscle spasm and it's clumsy, so they will break everything. And this archmage has the cussing thing and is also gay and likes ladies. And they have the spell time stop. Who shall we be? I think we shall try out the one that is clumsy so we can see what it's like to break things. Next palace, or we'll see how this one's laid out. I might start locking it down to see if I can find the fault. And you can't see it on the screen, but my controller is vibrating because, again, the character has muscle spasms, so it's a little disconcerting when you're playing. Hard to tell, but anytime I touch something it would break. Alright, let's see what we got this time. We got a paladin, a knave, and another knave. Our knave is clumsy and has ADHD. Our paladin is gay, and they're a hypochondriac, so they tend to exaggerate. And this other one is clumsy, so we're gonna go with the paladin. See how this castle is. I did not want to teleport. Oh, really, Corey? So I think when enemies hit you, it exaggerates how many hit points you've lost. Yeah, it's exaggerating how many hit points you're losing. Because if I really lost that many hit points, I'd be dead. Ooh. So this will allow me to change weapons. I'm fine with the weapon I have right now for my magic, so I'm going to keep this one. But if you had a weapon you didn't like, that would be a good boon to have. If I had that other weapon, I wouldn't be able to do this. Because it's a straight line weapon. Oh, great. I think I'll check out the other way first, because, yeah. I don't want to cross all those spikes. And I'm not good at scrolling left. This one's not as bad because these are stagnant platforms. Still annoying, though. Even going to attempt that fairy chest. Who's leaving these random fried chicken legs in this castle, but they are my favorite person. I've actually done pretty well exploring this particular castle so far. Ooh, Carnival! We haven't seen one of these yet. Hi there, care to test your dexterity? You can only get one shot, but it's free of a charge. If you succeed, I'll give you a nice reward. Just 10 daggers to destroy 8 targets. Care to give it a try? Sure, why not? So basically, try to hit these targets. It's kind of challenging. I don't remember if I've ever beaten this one. Yeah, I'm not good at this one. I think this is probably the best I've ever done at that game, though. There's another one that's easier. You couldn't even hit 8 targets. Good luck with the rest of the castle. I love the sarcastic clown. Aha! So we have found the entrance. I'm not strong enough to fight them, but I can lock the castle down after I die and get back here and try to fight them. Which is what I will do. Died. Alright, we got a wee baby paladin, an archmage, and a regular paladin. Let's see what their traits are. This one is permaroided, and they have the axes, so they can knock the enemies back further. And this one knows no pain. They never get to ride roller coasters because they're a dwarf. I'm going to go with Annabelle the second. Let's see if there's any weapons I can get. I think I need to increase the amount of weight I can carry to wear those bracers. I'll go do that in a second. Alright, now I should be able to wear them. Ooh. Let's see what else I can go get. Alright. That way I have more magic powers. Ooh, so we're going to lock the castle down, otherwise we'd have to spend all that time finding the enemy again. Alright, let's see if we can go defeat this boss. All the way over there. we got this time? We got an Archmage, a Knave, and a Barbarian. But this time the Barbarian's MP and HP are swapped. That's not good. So I'm gonna go with the Archmage. And the new rune is a bounty rune. Can't forget to lock the castle down. So I might try to explore more of the castle level. I don't think I'll be able to fight the boss of the mage. You never know. But there's still more treasures to discover in the castle. We have not gone every which way we can. They are so weak. Alright, so we got a paladin. It's got ADHD. A paladin with glaucoma. And an archmage. So I'll go with the paladin with ADHD. Let's see if we can kill the thingy. He's super fast. And I forgot to lock the castle, so it's a different castle. Apparently I have ADHD. Oh well. Whatever. Find it again. Was annoying me anyway, so I'm glad that I did not save it. Hey, look, we found it. Of course, I cannot fight them right now because I literally have almost no life, but whatever. We found it quick and it's close, so it won't be that hard to get to. Nope, don't want to go to the Maya just yet. Ooh, there's chests down here. Of course. There's a nice living dead down here. Oh, look, it's even worse. And I almost won. Alright, we got an Archmage, and a Paladin. We're gonna go with the Paladin. Perfect the skills of the miner and raise your family fortune. Can't do that yet. Upgrade your barbarian. Can't do that. Convert your barbarian into barbarian kings. Learn the secret about the bears. Shout at the things until they explode. Nice. Alright, let's remember to lock the castle. And we did. And let's go try to kill the boss. Because we can warp right to the area where he was at. Ha ha ha. I forgot we could do that. I'd rather just waste the food and thing on there, oh well. Alright, Kate, the gatekeeper Kiter. And it died. Try again. So we got the knave, a baby knave, and a big knave. So many choices. I'm thinking the best weapon will be this one because it can be a straight shot. So let's lock this castle down, and Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Let's see how quickly I die this time. I almost killed it that time. Alright, let's try this again. We have a barbarian queen, a paladin, and a barbarian king. We're going to go with the queen because she has the weapon I need. Of course, she's also practically, you know, blind. Oh, crud, I forgot to lock the castle down. Wonder if it'll let me. No, it won't. Wait, will it? Haha. That would have sucked. Haha. Game system. Alright, let's try this again. I was so close, so annoying! Alright. Barbarian king, barbarian king, barbarian queen. Let's see. Promoted. Weak. And the one. Go with this one. Alright. Step 1. Lock the castle down. Step 2. Enter the castle. Step 3. Teleport to the enemy. And profit. Alright, thanks for sticking around, Corey. Night. So close again. Alright, we got a knave, an archmage, and a paladin. I'm thinking a paladin has more hit points than a knave. But they also have devastating critical strikes, so you know what, I'm just going with knave. What could it hurt? Dormammu, I've come to bargain. So close. Closer than I thought I would get with that such low stats. Archmage, Paladin, and Archmage. I'm gonna choose the one that has a fire, because that is my favorite weapon, and look at how cute! 12 times a charm, right? Oh, so close. Alright, we're gonna go with the Barbarian King, even though it doesn't have my favorite spell. I think this is actually a good spell to use on the weapon or the enemy, because he cannot dodge this spell and it will stay pretty well for a while. Oh, so close again. And since I've only been fighting the boss, it's not been leveling my character up. Do that. That's not where I want to go. Definitely feeling like Dormammu. I've come to bargain. I earned some kind of a trophy. So her power lets us see all the enemies on the map. wish I could get a barbarian that has the flame, because I know I could easily win with that. 3 knaves. Alright, I'm going to use this opportunity to try to earn some more coins in the castle, but still lock it down to maybe try to upgrade some attributes. This is the right combination of spells and abilities. Defeat the big eyeball guy. Alright, let's see if I can get anything worth my money. Paladin. have come to bargain. Woohoo, I finally beat him. Omnitophobia. Alright, so I got an increase in HP by 10 points and magic damage increased by 1. And now the enemy has been defeated from the castle. And it will let me continue exploring the castle so I can earn more money. So I will do that. Let's see. Cool, this is good because it will restore a lot of your HP and MP. Nope, don't want to go there yet because it's too dangerous. That's also too dangerous, so we're discovering the bounds of the main castle. I'm going to go back the other way now. Ooh, cool, the sound. Oh, it's even worse because I have to play it left-sided. Ugh. did better that time. Well, alright, since I went ahead and beat the boss of the main castle, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for this playthrough. It's been going on for quite a while now. Thank you to everybody who joined live and anybody that watches this after the fact. Definitely be playing this again sometime soon when we need a break from whatever's going on. We hope to see you next time. This has been Ashley from Geek to a Nerd. Have a good day. Bye!